Okay, so today, listen, the new topic is graphing using the slope and y-intercept. Now, last week we were able to graph a line by using a table. All right, this week we're going to do a little bit differently. We really don't need a table. All right, there's a shortcut, which is called graph by using the slope and y-intercept. So what I would like for you to do now is I need you to go right above, and we're going to take some notes on how to graph using the slope and y-intercept. And it is just kind of like a pattern. All right, and once you recognize the pattern, it's very simple to graph. All right, so here we go, graph using the slope and y-intercept. The first thing I want you to write down is y equals mx plus b. Right, in order to graph, it must be in that format. All right, it must be in that format. What does m represent? I'm sure somebody can remember. M represents the slope. All right, and the slope, remember, was the rise over the run, we said. It was also a formula that I want you to remember, which was y2 minus, good job, girl. Wow, very good. That's what you should be saying. The slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Now the next important thing is b, which is the y-intercept. The y-intercept. And you write the y-intercept as a point, so it's going to be 0, comma b. It's going to be 0, comma b. All right. Now, what exactly is the y-intercept? It's the location on the y-axis that the line crosses. All right. So your graph is going to cross the y-axis. Where it crosses the y-axis, that's called the y-intercept. All right. And the y-intercept always has an x-coordinate that is 0. Always has an x-coordinate that is 0. All right? So with that in mind, all right, I'm going to now list some rules out for you. Step number 1, all you do is you plot the y-intercept. Step number 2, you're going to use the slope to find a second point. You're going to use the slope to find a second point. And then 3, you're going to use the 2 points to graph the line. All right, that's what I want you to do. All right, so now everybody just look up. The nice thing about having problem number 1 done for me is so I can just use this as an example. All right? I want to use this as an example. So please look up, look up, look up. And then we're going to do the evens. All right, but right now I just want to show you how simple it is. All right? The first thing you're going to write down is m equals not just 2, but we're going to write it as a fraction. The slope is always a fraction. So we're going to write it as 2 over 1. All right? Now, what is the y-intercept? The y-intercept is the number after the x. So in this case, the y-intercept is written as 0, comma 3.
The big one.
It's,
The big
yes. All right? Is everybody happy with that? All right, now look how simple it is to graph. I said you plot the point first. You plot the y-intercept first. So we graph the point 0, 3. So here is 0, 3 right here, guys. Is everybody with me? That's the point 0, 3. Now from there, you use the slope. Well, the slope is up to and over what? Over 1. So I went up to and over 1. Now, usually what I tell kids is to go ahead and do it a third time. All right, just because it's easy to graph the line if you have 3 points. So from here, I went up another what? 2, and then I went over what? 1. So the slope is still the same. Is everybody with me? And then you just graph the line. Now, come on, guys. Don't you agree that's pretty easy? Pretty easy?
Yeah.
All right, so now let's see if you can do it. Let's take a look at question number 2. All right, so the most important thing is you write down m equals, what is our slope, Ben? 3 over 1. And what's our y-intercept, Ben?
0.
Yep, 0, -2. Awesome, Ben. All right, and I'm just going to let you finish this out. How do I graph it now, Ben? What would I do? Do you know? Right? So I have to go what? Go 0, -2. Perfect. And then from there, I use the slope, so I would go what? Up 3 over 1. 1, 2, 3 over 1. So notice what I did here. I went up 3 and over 1. Now, again, I think it's easier if you do it a third time. So I'm going to go up 3 and over 1 again. All right? You see how those points line up? And they form a line. So now we're just going to connect them. Does everybody see how easy that is, correct? Everybody good? Very simple. Very, very simple. All right? Now, let's see who else is involved. All right, I'll let you go.
Okay, so it's number 4. Right.
Yep, we're doing the odds or evens. Thank you.
Okay,
So number 4. Go.
It is first we do the the m. The m is would that be 2 over 3?
Perfect. 2 over 3.
Okay. And then it's the d.
B.
B. That's it. It's 0, -2.
Exactly, 0, -2. I just follow along, Caroline, because it's the same as before. Okay, just listen, you'll get it. I'm sure. So now, what do I do?
So now you plot the b.
Right. So I go what?
You go 2 down from the center.
2 down from the origin. Then from there I go what?
And then from there you go up to across right 3.
That's exactly correct. Up 2 over 3. Up 2 over 3.
Would you go up 2 over 3 because of the fraction?
Exactly right.
Okay, that's
Because remember, this right here, pay attention now. This, I want you to write down, rise over what? Run. So that means I had to rise how many? 2, and I had to run how many? 3. Rise over run. Rise over run. Come on, that's very easy. Very, very easy. All right, Kate, you're up. Number 6, what do I have to do? Tell me what the slope is. Four over 7, beautiful. And what's B? What's the matter?
I really don't understand this.
Okay, so you're with me so far, right?
How'd you get a 0 to 0? Or, sorry, 0 to -3.
Were you here when we talked about the y-intercept is always 0b?
Yeah.
B is this point right here.
Oh, so B is always the
Yeah, always.
But for number 6, it's oh,
I mean, it's really and truly simple. You with me so far now?
yeah, I
All right, now you got to listen to her plot. So now, what am I going to do? Three down, perfect. 0, down 3, plot a point. So far, so good. Now, from there, up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, can I really go up and over anymore? No. So that's going to be satisfactory.
Wait, do you go up 4 from the dot or
From the point, not from the origin. That's a very important question. Very good. You always go from the y-intercept. All right? And so now we have it. Come on, guys. That's supposed to be a pretty hard concept, but I think it's pretty easy. That's not that hard. Yeah, it is. It looks complicated. It's not. All math looks complicated when you don't know it. It's very simple, though. Very simple. All right. Let's try number 8.
so
I'll get you guys.
so m equals
Be careful.
-1 over 1.
Wow. Your A game today. Very good.
And then b equals 0.
Yes. Does everybody understand why it's -1 over 1, right? Is it -1 over -1? No. It's -1 over +1. You with me? All right. So go ahead.
And then you graph up 3.
Up 3.
And then down 1 to the right.
Exactly. Down 1 to the right 1. Down 1 to the right 1. So I just did a couple more times. All right. That's way it's easier if you draw the line if you have a couple points.
Does the line have to go all the way across? Because like with those 2 dots, can I just?
No, I want you to do all like that.
Okay.
Don't just make your line real small. The line goes on indefinitely. All right, Jack.
Okay.
Jack Mead, thank you.
What?
Tell me.
All right. M is -1 over 2.
Good. Cole, are you with me? Looks like you're chowing down too much back there. You still working? All right.
And then your b is 0, and then -3.
Beautiful. Anybody have any objections to that? All right, go ahead.
And then you would go down -1.
Down what?
Wait.
Shh. Shh. You got to plot the y-intercept first.
Sorry. Down -3.
Good, exactly. So we go down 3, and then
go up.
what's the slope? What's the slope?
-1 over 2.
So what do I do? From that point,
Go down -1.
and then
Go over 2.
exactly down 1 to the right 2.
Is it always
Down 1 to the right 2. Doesn't have to be. Blah, 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 blah. How about ask me a question, not what you think it is?
Okay. Why do you go 2 to the right?
Because the denominator is 2.
So I thought the whole fraction was negative, so it'd be -1.
We already said that. Is it negative over a negative? Because that would make the slope a positive. Very good. All right, a negative over a negative would make the slope positive. Do you understand me now, right?
Yeah.
It's -1 over +2. Now the question is, do I have to go to the right 2? Now watch, please. Look up. This is important. Instead of going down 1 and to the right 2, I could go up 1, but then I would have to go
To the left.
to the left 2. Thank you. To the left 2. Up 1, left 2.
So
Everybody
it
with
was
me?
not
Oh,
between
okay,
the
I
two,
get
and
No,
that's
it
why
doesn't matter. You can put the negative either in the top or in the bottom.
That's
To me, it was
what-
just standard to put it in the top.
That's what I was gonna ask of why we're always
Yep.
getting to the
That's exactly why. All right, so now draw the line, and you're in good shape. All right, Jack.
So, m is equal to negative 5/3,
And
and then b is equal to 0, 6.
beautiful. So now what?
And then so you go up 6,
And then
and then you go down 5,
and
and then over 3.
exactly down
You
5 and over
probably
3.
only-
Yeah, you can only put 2 on there this time. All right. So now what I do is I put and I go from one point, and then I go from the other point the other direction. All right. Everybody good with that? Everybody agree that's not that bad? Or it's not bad at all. All right. Now, for the next page, I'm just reviewing what we did last week. All right, we're reviewing slope. All right. So now, some of people had trouble. How many points do I need to define the slope? How many points do I need to find the slope? How many? 2. Good job, Cole. Does it matter what 2 points? Well, we try to find the easiest ones. So in this problem, I could choose this point and this point. I could choose this point right here and this point right here. I could choose this point right here and this point up here. Does everybody see that?
Yeah.
But you're always going to get what?
The same answer.
You're always going to get the same answer. So you try to find the 2 easiest ones. And usually the 2 easiest ones are the ones that are close together. All right? So the first thing I want you to do is write the slope formula. M equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Everybody good with that?
Yep.
All right. Now, the y values, all right, are the ones over here, don't forget. So what 2 numbers do we want to subtract? 8 and 6. Beautiful. So we're going to say 8 minus 6 over 2.4 minus 1.2. And what's 8 minus 6? 2. What's 2.4 over 1.2? 1.2. All right, we don't leave a fraction in a decimal. So now we're going to multiply both by 10. And so you're going to get what? 20 over 12. And then you reduce that by 4. So that's the same as what?
5 over
5 over 3. 5/3. Yes.
How do you know how to multiply? Why do you multiply with 10?
I multiplied by 10.
Yeah, why do you multiply with 10?
Because you're not allowed to have a decimal in a fraction.
So you just do the number that's after it.
Right. Because now there is no more decimal. Do you agree with that? Okay? All right. Is everybody happy with that?
Wait a minute. So I still don't understand why you multiply by 10. I know you have to multiply because there's a decimal, but like.
Why did I pick 10?
Yeah.
I could have picked 5, actually. Because then that would eliminate the fraction. But most people would multiply by 10 because when you multiply by 10, you just move the decimal over one spot. So if I move the decimal over one spot, 1.2 becomes 12 and 2 becomes 20. Agreed?
Yeah, because it goes limited because then just 5 and 5 and 6.
You okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Here
Here we go. So now let's look at number 4, please. Everybody look at 4. So on your graph, here's what you're going to do. You're going to do your rise over your run. How much should I go up?
2.
2. How much should I go over?
3.
So my slope is
2 over 3.
2 over 3. Beautiful.
If we can, do we reduce it?
You always reduce a fraction. You always reduce a fraction.
And then does B equal 0?
No, we're not doing anything else. We're just finding this. We're just finding the slope.
Okay. But wouldn't B equal 0?
Yes, very smart, kiddo. All right, let's take a look now at question number 6. Now you need the equation. Y equal. You said y equals and messed me up. M equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Write the formula down every time. It helps you put it in your brain. Helps you put it in the long-term memory. All right, don't be lazy. Now, which one of those? I would like for you to write this down too. Remember, this is just the first point, correct? That's what we call it, x1 and y1. And the second point is considered what? X2 and y2. So everybody's going to do that. X2 and y2. All right. Now, to find the slope, here we go. We're going to do what?
-5.
No.
Oh wait, sorry. Negative.
No. 8 minus.
Plus 10.
8 minus. Caroline.
Minus 6.
Somebody help Caroline out, please.
Minus 6.
8 minus 6 over.
-5.
Yay, there you go, girl. -5 plus 10. Now, how do we get plus 10? Because we did a... All right, double negatives. Good job, guys. All right, so tell me what 8 minus 6 is. 2 over 5, and that is your slope. Does anybody have any problems?
Wow.
It's easy. All right, but you have to know that little formula. You good? You're good now? All right, let's check out 8, please. Again, notice I'm writing M equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. All right, Alex, tell me, what's y2? Don't be sorry. Come on. I know you're daydreaming a little bit. It's all right. Shh. No, let him do it. Let him do it. Now, y2 means the second y value. So this is called x1. This is called y1. Yes. So -3. This is x2 and y2. No. Yeah, come on now. Look up there. Where are the y's? Now, come on. Y. Good. Now, don't be sorry. Come on. Just trying to get you going. -3 minus 2. I'm trying to tell you how simple that is now. Come on. There's no reason not to know that. You with me? But you got to be with me. You got to be doing it. You good on that or not? Over. Now, come on. Try to get the x2 minus x1 correct. You see how I'm saying it's easy. All right, stay with me. Stay with me. 12 minus 5. So -3 minus 2 is what, guys? 12 minus 5 is? Is everybody happy with that? -5 over 7. All right, Allison. Help me out. Number 10. All right, number 10. Here we go. M equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. I'm listening. Put down, what is this right here? I'm going to highlight this. What does that represent? Come on. Let me get done up here. Go back. Come on now. Look at my other examples. And now I'm not trying to confuse you, but do you understand why they call it x1 and y1? Because it is the first point. All right, hear me out now. Make sure you understand that now. Ask me a question if you don't know. That's called x1 and y1 because it is the first point. So this one over here is called what? The first one is x1, y1. The second one is? Yeah, girl. Right? You hear what I'm saying now? Come on now. I mean it about asking questions now if you're not sure. You with me now, right? Okay, so now which one of those is y2? There you go. It's really simple. -5 minus, what's y1? So now the double negatives make it a? Very good. -5 plus 3 over, what's x2? -2. Exactly. Exactly. Now what's -5 plus 3? Negative. Good. Over what's -2 plus 2? 0. Good job. So now, listen, be real careful here. This, when you divide by 0, is undefined. Remember, I told you you can't divide by 0. If it's 0 in the numerator, the slope is 0. If 0 is in the denominator, we say it is undefined. And then the next thing I want you to do is I want you to write down, I know that the graph would be a vertical line. Undefined slope is a vertical line. Now these are little things for those of you guys trying to get a little smarter. Those are things you're going to write down and make little notes about. All right? Quick.
So on the -2 plus 2, it's -2 plus -2.
No,
right?
no. You would write it as -2 minus -2.
Oh, okay.
So that's why the double negatives became positive.
Okay.
Wait, so the
Good.
answer is the 0 with the line?
That means undefined. All right, that means it's undefined. You cannot divide by 0.
Oh, okay.
You cannot divide by 0. If I said this, hello, if I said 0 over 3, what would the slope be? Boys, I'm listening, I'm saying a question. What is 0 divided by 3? 0. Exactly. So I'm trying to highlight the difference. If 0 is on the bottom, it's what?
It's undefined.
Undefined. If 0 is on the top,
It's 0.
it's 0. All right? Because if you take $0 and I give everybody an equal amount, you all would give what? You all would get what? 0. All right? You would get 0. All right? No. Listen, I'm just saying, boys, just don't play around. Things don't happen. All right, simple. That's what I'm telling you. All right, I'm not a babysitter. All right, now just clean it up, whoever's fault it was. All right, and that's the end. All right, now, what I need for you to do, guys, is just finish up. Now, listen, if you're having any doubts, the odds are already up on the internet. Go ahead and look it up. Now, I'm also telling you guys, like I said, if you're on YouTube watching things you're not watching, you're never even going to know it. I'm just going to turn it off. I'm turning your iPads off. Simple as that. All right, you're not supposed to be on YouTube looking at things you shouldn't be looking at. I don't care what it is. All right, stay focused on the math. All right, get done. Once you're done, you have more discretion. All right, find something to finish up so you don't have as much homework. All right, get your work done. What? That would be good, but it's not quite done. I'm finishing up right now. It'll be posted in a little bit. Because tomorrow and the next day we're